Ripley High School and to Memorial Stadium. A show play, a 10-2 season that included a trip to the semifinal round of the Class AA playoffs. They were also co-champions of the Southern AA Conference. Winfield is ranked number 2 in the AA preseason poll conducted by the Charleston Daily Mail. Ripley, coached by Frank Marino and assisted by Mike Dean, Dallas Mullen, Mike Reed, Jim Abshire, and Steve Buffington, is coming off a 9-3 season. The Vikings advanced to the AAA playoff Final Four and captured the Pioneer Athletic Conference Championship. Your captains for the Vikings, number 73 is Mark Chapman, number 34 is Danny Fox, number 20 John Brown, a captain for Winfield, along with number 65 Gunnar Pendlebury. The Vikings will be receiving as we begin the 1987 high school football season. Deep for the Vikings, number 25 is Paul Blankenship, number 44 Rod Randolph, number 31 is Rick Riddle. Kicking off for the Generals, number 45 is Brent Wells.
First and 15. What a run by Lowe! Shakes off a defender. Touchdown! Play action fake. Forces a pass, not a good one, and Turner has the first interception of his career.
Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Take your best shot. Take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Take your best
Going deep. Man's there. Got it. Tailback gets the call behind his fullback. Touchdown. Trying to run around the corner. First down and more. He might score. Touchdown. He's got an opening. Off to the races. Can they catch him? No, they can't. Touchdown.
What a play by Campbell.
Broke a tackle. He's got a lot of room and a lot of speed. Can he take it to the house? Yes, he can. Touchdown.
Gives it to Wells. Big hole up the middle. 10, 5, touchdown.
Well, we just talked about the center. He got a huge block on that play.
Brown into the end zone. Touchdown.
Kick by number 22, Tony Gibson for the
Play action. Where is Brown going to go? Brown's going to go to the end zone. Touchdown. Brown to throw. Got a man and brought it complete in the end zone. Brown looking deep. The throw is caught. What a throw and catch. Brown powers his way, touchdown. Brown again going over the top. It is caught. Wells, a big burst to the outside. To the 30, the 20. Touchdown! Touchdown!
It's bigger than us. It's two programs that are built on toughness and faith, an unwavering desire to be the best.
You just feel the history.
Two traditions venerated and proud, embodied by these young men who compete for a crown and a foothold in forever.
You know you gotta help me.
The grainy textures of memory and the vivid colors of the present day will share this stage.
If you take it to him, hell, there's no question who'll win. Give everything you got in your heart to this place. Today, we're gonna win. Fight, 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 fight.
You fight for everything you believe in. Each other, this program, we fight tonight.
See these teams and sense the presence of the past.
And there goes Griffin, what a player.
When players became heroes.
Throws out of the touchdown.
Coaches, icons, and moments, the stuff of legend.
Now the party begins.
With all these things that I done.
One man to beat, he's gone.
Goes back generations.
This is about as good as it gets.
They've been waiting for this opportunity, some of them their entire lives. And playing, continuing their legacy.
The best way to do that is to win a championship.
With all these things that I done.
Mountain Lions of Tucker County High School have won the coin toss, and they have elected to receive the ball as we get set for the 1987 Class AA Championship game. I'm Tony Caridi, joined by Bill Roth. The scene is set. The 1987 Class AA Championship about to be decided, and we welcome you and thank you for tuning in along the Metro News Radio Network on a beautiful Friday for football. Calling the play-by-play action this evening, the voice of the Marshall University Thundering Herd and the voice of Metro News Radio Network Sports, that's Bill Roth. Take it away, Bill.
Red Wells will kick it off for Winfield. Tucker will be moving from left to right. They come out wearing their yellow tops with their black pants and yellow stripes, and Winfield in the green shirts with the white numbers and the white pants. This kickoff is taken by Del Signor at the 20, runs out to the 25, runs left and is hit at the 27-yard line. And that is where Tucker County will start over 1st and 10. And Rhodes is the fullback. First down play, they hand it off to Rhodes up the middle, no gain, pushed back by McCormick, the nose guard.
Got to put the coach's son in their haddocks early on.
Here's the give to Haddix, runs right, drop down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard. Tony Gibson, the inside linebacker, came up. So they've tried to run against this Winfield defense early, Tony, and you've seen how tough Winfield is up front. Now we have a third down in a passing situation for Jed Drenning. This senior quarterback at 6'2", 195, has been highly touted. He's back to pass. They're coming to get him. They got him back at the 19-yard line. Jamie Cunningham, the junior defensive tackle, grabbed him and dropped him down for a big loss and a sack on the very first passing attempt by Drenning, and it is 4th down and about 20 and a punting situation.
They caught Jed Drenning as he tried to roll out of the pocket.
Here's the punt, and it comes off the foot of Drenning. High kick, bounces at the 48, rolls into Winfield territory, and then kicks backwards at about the 50. We played 2 minutes in the first quarter. Winfield and Tucker County in the championship at the 50-yard line. Winfield moves from right to left in the green. Hand off on first down to John Brown, runs left, has the hold of the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Del Signor, the safety, had to come up to make the stop, but a big run on first down for Brown. Second down and a long 2 from the 42-yard line. Here's a handoff inside once again to John Brown, and he's stopped by Ramsey, the defensive tackle, right at the line of scrimmage and dropped down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. Wingman to the left, comes in motion left to right. That's Brian Stover. Here's a fake handoff, play action pass. The quarterback throws high and deep and long, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Toby Wells at about the 15-yard line. Watch the fake punt. Maybe not here early, but later in the game, Bannister's a great athlete. Gets the snap, steps forward, they're coming to get him, and he boots it away, a high spiral. It will bounce at the 10 and roll towards the end zone. They're going to down it, but it rolled into the end zone. Let's see. Nope, they're going to stop it at the 1. They stop it at the 1. On first down from the 1-yard line, they hand it off. Drenning just tries to keep it, bowling his way forward. Got a yard or 2. Man wide to the left side. That's B.J. Maxwell. Here's a pass play. It's swung out on the left at the 1-yard line. It is caught by the tight end, but he's dropped immediately by Toby Wells. Wide man to the right side, Carmen Del Signor. Single setback, gets the handoff. That's Haddix up the middle, no gain, pushed backwards, stopped by Andy French and Pendlebury, and they forced a 4th down situation here. And the deep man is the dangerous Jeff Bannister. Here's a high, short kick, lands at the 35, bounces backwards, good Winfield bounce. It'll roll dead at the Tucker County 28-yard line. Bannister is wide to the left. Backs are side by side. 1st and 10. Quarterback Brown pitches it out. Running is John Brown. Runs left to the 25. Outside of the 20. And he's finally pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 12. This time they have Tim Campbell wide to the left along with Brian Stover. Pro set formation. Here's a pitch play on the left side. Running with the ball is John Brown, and he's stopped at the 19-yard line by Chopper Evans, the defensive end on the right side. Backs are side by side on 3rd and short, and our biggest defensive play in the game. Quarterback Craig Brown keeps, dives ahead, has the first down for the big center. Greg Julian pushed forward right over the nose guard Mike Flanagan, and they pick up the first down to the 15-yard line. The center is Greg Julian. They have Campbell and Stover wide to the right side. 1st and 10. Quarterback Brown bootleg right, keeping to the 10, outside of the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown Winfield. A 15-yard touchdown run for Craig Brown, and the Winfield Generals have taken the lead. It was a straight quarterback bootleg, and Craig Brown, the junior, raced outside and all the way into the end zone. And with 5:07 to play in the opening quarter, Winfield is on top 6-0. Here's the snap, the spot is down, and the kick is on the way. Wide left, he missed it. It remains a 6-0 game. Winfield on top of Tucker with 5:07 to play. And this SSAC championship event is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network. And here is the kickoff. High, end over end kick. And it'll be taken by a backpedaling Del Signor, runs out to the 20, and is hit at the 23-yard line. Signor the flanker, Ambrose the split end on first down. Quarterback Drenning keeps back to pass, runs now out to the 25-yard line before he stopped and dropped to the turf by Tim Campbell and Pendlebury. Maxwell, the split end to the left. Man comes in motion to the right. That's Haddix. Drenning back to pass, looking, zipping it over the middle, caught at the 40-yard line by the tight end Hebb. He has the first down at the 39. He came streaking across the middle from right to left, and Drenning put it right on the numbers, and Hebb streaking across the middle, hauled it in for Tucker County's initial first down at the 40, 1st and 10. The backs are in the eye. Slot man to the right, receiver to the right. Here's a handoff inside to Haddix. Nearly busted it big out of the 45, and he fell ahead to the 48-yard line before Toby Wells made the stop. But two successive big plays for the Tucker County offense, and the crowd across the way finally has something to cheer about. Wide side of the field is to the left. The split end Maxwell is on the right. Here's a handoff to Haddix, gives ground, and he's in trouble, and is brought down at the 42-yard line. Passing situation now for the quarterback. They go out of a shotgun. Receivers left and right. Redding has the ball on the snap. Back to pass looking. Steps up and throws. It is caught underneath at the 50-yard line for a first down by Delton Rhodes, and he falls ahead to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Ball now in the middle of the field. Drenning, number 12, looks behind him. Rhodes and Haddix are there in the eye. Slot man to the left. Here's a handoff to Haddix. Dives over the middle. Gibson makes the stop for Winfield, a gain of about 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with exactly 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. So 1:38 to play. Backs in the eye. Slot man to the left side. Quarterback Drenning back to pass. Swings it out in the left flat where it is caught by Ambrose, who is hit heavily and knocked down to the 40-yard line by Bannister. He's a hitter, but Ambrose made a fine reception for a gain of about 9 yards right near the first down. In fact, it might be close enough to measure as Drenning swung out in the left flat to Ambrose. 50 seconds to play in the quarter. Single setback, quarterback Drenning plows his way ahead and has the first down near the 35. Again out of the shotgun formation for Tucker County. Quarterback Drenning has the snap, rolling right. A rollout pass, steps up and fires, it's intercepted. And coming back is Wells, running to the 40. He's out to the 45-yard line. The interception by Toby Wells, as Drenning threw it right at him, and Wells made a fine grab up the near sidelines and brought it all the way back to the Winfield 46-yard line. And there is the first turnover of the game as Drenning throws an interception.
Your man came right across there, Wells, and he was just waiting for it, right into his chest.
1st and 10 now for Winfield, and the quarterback keeps. And Craig Brown is hit as soon as he tries to turn upfield along the line of scrimmage. 6-0 as we begin quarter number 2 at the 44-yard line. Winfield driving left to right. Here's a counter play action pass. Brown on the run, throws it downfield. It is caught by Wells at the 40. Open room to the 35, the 30. He's racing down the sidelines. Brent Wells at the 10, cuts inside of the 5. He has a touchdown. Brent Wells takes the pass and goes 43 yards for the touchdown, and Winfield extends its lead as Craig Brown on a counter play action pass, lofted it downfield, and Brent Wells took it, ran down the sidelines, cut inside at about the 10, and has the touchdown, and Winfield leads this game 12-0. Big pass play. Here's the spot. It's down, and the kick is up, wide again to the left. So Winfield is 0 of 2 on extra points, and it remains a 12-0 game. This SSAC championship event is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network. Here's the kickoff. It comes down at the 17-yard line. Del Signer is running it back. He gets to the 20, 21-yard line outside and is pummeled there at about the 21 on the right side. The quarterback, Jed Drenning, brings his team to the line of scrimmage. They've been going out of the shotgun. Now he'll step right under the center, John Rapp. First down, back to pass, quick drop, firing right side, caught at the 25, and then the man is immediately hit and dropped. John Brown with the big defensive hit. Receiver wide to the left side, a slot man to the left, and now Haddix, the tailback, goes in motion to the right, and the quarterback Drenning is back to pass and looking and throwing downfield, incomplete at the 42-yard line. His pass was intended for the tight end, Kevin Hebb. Carmen Del Signor is wide to the left side. The backs are in the eye on 3rd and 7 from the 25. Drenning back to pass, looking, pump fake left, now fires into the left flat. Incomplete at the 45-yard line.
They had double coverage over there. The right cornerback Wells and the strong safety Bannister were just waiting for him, and the ball was not even catchable. It was overthrown.
4th down, Drenning sets the punt, takes the snap, takes a long time, and now kicks it high spiral. It'll be taken at the 36-yard line on a fair catch. And Craig Brown, number 10, who had a broken foot last year, brings his team to the line of scrimmage and sends Stover in motion from left to right on 1st down. Again, he's going to keep it on a play-action pass, running down the line of scrimmage to his left, and he's tripped up by Scott Ramsey on the right side of the line. Delton Rhodes came up from the cornerback spot to help trip him up. It'll be a gain of about 2. Back side by side, receivers left and right. Quarterback Craig Brown takes the snap, option right, pitching at the last minute to John Brown, tries to turn the corner at the 35-yard line, and he's muscled down at about the 36 by Del Signor. And John Rapp, the cornerback, coming up. 3rd down and along 7. Quarterback hands it off to Brent Wells on a draw to the 37. Runs outside to the 39. Gain of 2. It'll be 4th down and about 5. Takes the snap, steps forward. They're coming to get him. They miss the ball. They get the punter. No flag is thrown. The punt is fielded by Drenning at about the 36-yard line. But Tucker County takes over 1st and 10 on its own 35-yard line. Backs are in the eye, slot man to the left. They hand it off to the fullback, the first man through, and he goes nowhere for the 2 Winfield scores. Out of the shotgun on 2nd down and long. Quarterback Drenning fires downfield, incomplete, intended for the tight end Hebb at about the 42-yard line. Pendlebury made a big hit on the play, taking out Hebb, and the pass sails incomplete. And you know something, you can tell Drenning's an excellent quarterback. Drenning is a senior. Shane Haddix is a junior. He goes out of the shotgun. Receivers are left and right. Takes the snap. Shovel pass underneath to Shane Haddix. Hit as soon as he catches the ball. Back at the line of scrimmage. There was no gain on the play, and Jamie Cunningham came up and stopped Shane Haddix, who received that shovel pass. Good hit by Cunningham. He stands at his 25, and Bannister's the deep man at the 30. Takes the snap, steps forward, and kicks it away. It was partially tipped, I think. Maybe not. Hits at the 50 and rolls into Winfield territory down to the 40. Still rolling as it gets to the 35, and that's where it's literally blown dead. Bannister to the left, comes in motion to the right. Will Hancock is the wide man to the right side. 1st down, handoff up the middle to Brent Wells, or actually John Brown off left tackle. Man comes in motion left to right. Quarterback takes the ball. Pitch play. John Brown runs left. Dives towards the 1st down. I believe he has it at about the 45-yard line. They're at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10. Moving from left to right. Brown takes the snap. Back to pass. Rolling right. They're coming to get him. He steps forward and fires downfield where it's deflected, incomplete, and nearly intercepted. Tight end on the right. Stover comes in motion left to right. Backs are side by side. Quarterback play action pass. Brown is looking and firing high and deep and long downfield for Wells. Incomplete. And you could assume they didn't call timeout to run a draw. 3rd and 10 from the 46-yard line. Bannister in motion left to right. Straight drop back by the quarterback Brown. Throws downfield for Wells. He's got it at the 40 and then drops it and falls on it at about the 38-yard line, but he has the 1st down. Wide side is to the left, the slot man to the right. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Stover in motion from the right to the left, and the quarterback Craig Brown takes the snap and hands the ball off to a racing Brent Wells, who falls ahead at the 32-yard line for a gain of about 7 yards. Man comes in motion left to right on the 2nd and 5 play from the 34-yard line. Brown hands the ball off to John Brown. He fights his way ahead. 3rd and short. Brown, play action pass, rolls right, fires downfield, caught by Wells at the 20, to the 15, down the sidelines to the 10, he's at the 5, and he slips and falls at about the 2. They're at about the 2-yard line. Here's a handoff to John Brown, runs left, touchdown Winfield. John Brown took the handoff from Craig and rambled into the end zone. 2 yards for the touchdown. And it is now 18-0. So they'll go for the two-point conversion out of a power I formation. Quarterback pitches to John Wells, runs left towards the corner, has it. The two-point conversion is good as John Brown takes it in. And it is now Winfield 20, Tucker County nothing. 3:18 to play, first half. This SSAC championship event is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network. Here's the kickoff. It's fielded at the 23 by Del Signo. Runs out of the 25 to the 30. Brought down to the 35-yard line. Quarterback Jed Drenning brings his team to the line of scrimmage. And on first down, he hands the ball off to Shane Haddock, the coach's son. Runs up to the 40 and out to the 41-yard line. Second down and short. Hand off to Rhodes. Runs left. Gets to the line of scrimmage and is hit and dropped between two finalists. Third and short. Drenning, the quarterback, takes the snap. Quarterback keeper fights his way ahead. And a look at the clock shows 1:30 to play. Here's the quarterback back to pass, swinging on the left, incomplete, and then caught a reception at the 43-yard line. Crowd doesn't like it below.
Bill, I think we're going to have an overrule here.
Second down and 10. Tucker moving right to left. Flag is thrown as the quarterback swings a pass on the left, broken up incomplete by Toby Wells. It was intended on the left side for Del Signo, and a flag was thrown. Illegal procedure called against Tucker County. The backs are side by side, now out of a shotgun formation. High snap, Drenning steps forward. Quarterback draw to the 50, 45, has the first down at the Winfield 40-yard line as he went sliding in. And he has the first down. Quarterback on play action, Drenning looking, firing downfield, caught by Del Signo at the 25, breaks a tackle at the 20, he's running at the 10, the 5, touchdown! Tucker County scores on a 39-yard touchdown pass to Carmen Del Signo, and Tony, they do get on the board in the final minute of play. It is now 20-6 as Drenning rifled one in there to his flanker.
Drenning threw a dart to his main and favorite receiver, Del Signo. They're going to go for two.
Here's a pitch play, and the tailback, Haddock, is going to throw, and he fires it incomplete in the end zone, and the two-point conversion failed with 50 seconds left. That was an impressive drive by Tucker County. Onside kick. Fielded at the 50 by an up man, and they fall on it there. Winfield will have the ball. Quarterback Craig Brown steps under center. Let's see what they do here. Here's a pitch play. Running with the football is John Brown. Runs right to the 45. Heavy hitting going on, and he falls ahead to about the 44-yard line. Let's see if they throw long here. 18 seconds left. Brown back to pass. Looks. Plenty of time, fires high and deep and long, and it is intercepted and then dropped at the 8-yard line with 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left. They have 3 receivers left and a single setback. Brown takes the snap, steps forward and heaves it into the end zone, high and deep, and at the 5, it's incomplete, and that is the end of the first half. He threw it as far as he could, but it fell incomplete, and we've reached the end of the first half. All right, deep for Winfield to start this second half is John Brown. He stands at about his own 7-yard line, jumping up and down. It's a bit nippy back there, and here's the kickoff. It looked as if he was going to reverse his field and try to come back the other way. Generals move with the wind from right to left. The ball spotted on the 34-yard line. Wide man to the left, comes in motion. That's Bannister to the right. Backs are side by side. Quarterback pitches to Brown. John Brown busts to the 40, out to the 45-yard line before he's finally dropped down by Darrell Nestor, the inside linebacker coming up, and he carried him with him. John Brown was running. Nestor tried to make the stop. Nestor held onto his legs as he finally dragged him down after a gain out to the 45-yard line for the first down. Bannister, or rather Brian Stover, goes in motion left to right. The backs are side by side, and the quarterback hands the ball off to the first man through, Brent Wells. Gets out to midfield before he stops. That's the wide side of the field, and here's a pitch play to John Brown up the middle of the 48-yard line, and they bowl him over there, and Sean Long, the big defensive tackle, pushes him back. Stover in motion left to right. Here's a play-action pass, and the quarterback lofts it downfield, caught at the 37-yard line for a first down by Brett Wells, racing towards the near sidelines, and Del Signo brings him down after the completion. Bill Roth and Tony Caridi with you at Laley Field in Charleston on a windy night. They showed a blitz earlier there, and they came with the blitz to Tucker County, and it cost them, Tony.
Yeah, Kevin Heeb, the linebacker for Tucker County, went after the quarterback, Craig Brown, and Brown saw him come and just tossed that ball up there. They got the big completion for the first down. It's 1st and 10, Bill, for the Generals at their 37 of Tucker.
Driving with the wind, man comes in motion left to right. That's Jeff Bannister. Here's a handoff. Running with the football is John Brown over the left tackle to the 30. Through the big block and comes in motion left to right. And here comes a blitz again. Quarterback bootleg left. That's Brown running to the 30. He's at the 25, and Craig Brown is out of bounds at the 20-yard line. 9:11 to play in the quarter. 20-6. Winfield leads. Man comes in motion right to left. 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's a handoff to Brent Wells. Here's Brian Stover in motion from left to right. Play action jump pass. Quarterback now rolling right and looking. He's going to keep. He's at the 15. Craig Brown outside of the 10. Down the sidelines at the 5. Into the end zone, tiptoeing for the touchdown. Craig Brown with a spectacular run. A 17-yard touchdown run for Brown. His second running touchdown of the game. And he tiptoed his way down the right sidelines and somehow stayed in bounds.
You've really got to credit Craig Brown because Tucker County had a couple of shots at him. They were holding on to his jersey, but he just kept pumping those legs away down that far sideline. Here's a fake, Bill.
On the 2-point conversion, it's a fake, and they throw on the left side, and it is caught for the touchdown by Brent Wells, around of the 2-point conversion by Brent Wells, and he is in there after taking the pass at the 3 and falling in. The 2-point conversion is good, and Winfield leads this game 28-6 with 8:29 to play, and Tucker County finds itself down 28-6. The Mountain Lions will get the ball now for the first time in the second half. An impressive drive that took up 3.5 minutes to start the second half for Winfield. Here's Del Signor returning the kickoff, drops the ball in flight at the 10, picks it up to the 15, gets out to the 20, and is hit at the 22-yard line and dropped down in the middle of the field. And the Mountain Lions will start 1st and 10.
Well, the worst thing that could have happened for Tucker is Winfield scoring on their first possession of the half, because now Drenning's forced into a passing situation. Winfield knows that, and they'll put extra coverage back.
On 1st down, he throws, and the pass is caught at the 38-yard line for a 1st down by Beji Maxwell. 1st and 10 at the 40. Wide side is to the right. Here's the shotgun formation. Drenning has it. Back to pass. Throws. Caught by Kevin Hebb at the 45 for another 1st down. And Tucker County now, they've run 2 plays, have a drive going here at the 44 of Winfield. Quarterback out of the shotgun, takes the snap, quarterback draw, he's keeping. He's at the 40, he runs outside, and Drenning is finally dropped down right at the 40-yard line.
2nd down and 6.
From the 40-yard line, shotgun, Drenning has it, steps up, looks, fires downfield, incomplete, nearly caught at the 22-yard line. He put the pass right on the money to Jim Ambrose, but Jim could not hold on to it. It would have been a big 1st down. Good hit on the play. Brown was down there, John Brown. Here's the shotgun snap to Drenning. Fakes the pump fake, now does fire it over the middle. It is incomplete, dropped by Shane Haddock. They have a wingman on the left. Men wide, right and left. Shotgun formation. Drenning takes the snap, looking to pass, fires downfield, incomplete at the 25-yard line over the middle. So Winfield will take over on loss of downs. 28-6, Winfield on top, 3rd quarter. Generals have the ball back at the 40. Their own 40, driving right to left. 1st down play, handoff. Brent Wells busting big to the 50, 45-40. Breaks the tackle at the 35 to 30. Running left down to the 25-yard line. Brent Wells took the quick handoff and ran right through the line of scrimmage. But I think this Winfield offensive line is doing the job. Here's a quarterback rollout by Brown. Pitches it back by Del Signor. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Ball just on the other side of the 20 towards the 19 for Winfield, driving here in this 3rd quarter. Here's a handoff once again to Brent Wells up the middle. Tony, they're doing everything they want to do. They're taking time off the clock. They're moving the ball. They're padding their lead.
Still haven't committed a turnover mistake either, and that's crucial. Tucker's only committed 1, but Winfield was able to score on him.
Here's a running play. Quarterback Brown keeps it, gets down to about the 13-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Quarterback Brown looking, rolling right, firing over the middle, incomplete for Wells. But Winfield maybe a bit too strong up front. Here's an option play. John Brown takes the pitch, running left to the 10, the 5, touchdown. Yards out, and Winfield extends its lead. It is Brown's 2nd rushing, 34-6. They'll go for two. They run out of a power I right formation. Point conversion. Brown just kept it in there, and it is now a 36-6 game with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the third quarter. This SSAC championship event is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bill Roth, the Brown brothers are doing a job here on Tucker County. Craig Brown and John Brown have combined for 2 touchdowns each. 36-6, Winfield on top of Tucker County. Everything's going their way.
The Browns and the Winfield Green are painting the town here tonight. Here's the kickoff, and it is a line drive kick. And it's fielded by Del Signor at the 15-yard line. He runs out of the 20 to the 25-yard line. He spins and is finally stopped at about the 26-yard line. Out of an I formation on first down. Hand off to Shane Haddock. The tailback runs right. It's snowed under. Toby Wells came up.
Talk about a productive offense. Winfield has scored on 5 of 7 possessions. You can't ask for much more than that by any stretch of the imagination. Leon McCoy said to you, Bill, before the game, this could be my best team. Check with me after the game, and I'll tell you. I got an idea. You might say this is his best team.
Shane Haddock comes in motion left to right. Drenning takes the snap, back to pass, screen underneath to Del Signor, and he slips and goes down. Takes the snap high, pulls it down with his right arm, reaching up. He's in pressure. He's back. He's looking. He runs out of the pocket. He's rolling right. He lofts it high and deep downfield with a tight spiral where the pass is incomplete at the 35-yard line, intended for Maxwell. And Craig Brown broke it up.
2:38 to go here in the third quarter of play. You know, that was very Major Harris-like on that play because he had the pressure on him, evaded 2 guys, and then just kind of whipped that thing down there. There's no doubt that Drenning's got a super arm.
He's back to punt, and he boots it away. Let's see Major Harris punt. Does just about everything else. This punt lands at the 45 of Winfield. They're going with a wishbone formation on this first down play, and they hand the ball off. And there's a loose. Winfield did. Brent Wells was the ball carrier, and he fell on his own fumble.
And they're going to show it again here. This will be the 3rd straight time it's been effective for him so far, Bill.
Tony Gibson joins Brent Wells and John Brown in the backfield, and here's John Brown rambling downfield after taking the handoff to the 35-30 and down to the 28-yard line. 1:38 to play. Winfield. Snap rolling left, keeps it down to the 25. Off of it backwards. Del Signor, who's been one spectacular defensive player for Tucker County here tonight, pushed him back.
I'll tell you, Bill, that's just a tremendous football team and the high school level, Class AA school. When you can use one type of an offense for 2 quarters plus, and then all of a sudden you start just to this thing so fast, and they haven't yet.
9-man front. Here's a handoff to Gibson. Runs right, knifes his way through, dives towards the 20. Here's a pitch play to John Brown. Runs left, first down and more at the 10. He almost got in. Craig Brown takes the snap, hand off, touchdown. Tony Gibson. A 1-yard run for Tony Gibson with 17 seconds left in the third quarter, and Winfield leads this game 42-6. They'll run their 2-point conversion attempt out of the wishbone formation. Brown takes the snap, rolling right, pitch play to Gibson, runs right, flag is thrown, Gibson dives, he's in there. If it stands, flag was thrown on the play. Let's see, illegal motion is the call against Winfield. They'll go for 2 again. Again, they run it out of the wishbone formation. Option play right, quarterback pitches it, and a 2-point conversion attempt failed. So the score remains Winfield 42, Tucker 6, and this SSAC championship event is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network. Wells will kick it back to the gold-clad Mountain Lions. It's a high end-over-end kick. Out of the 20, out of the 25 and 30, out of the 34-yard line, and that's where he's brought down. Here's quarterback Drenning in trouble on first down, running left, has the first down of the 4. He's racing downfield to the 35. He's at the 30, and they finally drag him down. We're set to begin the fourth quarter from Laidley Field in Charleston. Winfield leads Tuck. Jed Drenning at the 35-yard line is back to pass. He's under a rush. He is sacked back at the 42-yard line. They came with a sack, and they got him. Chad Jones came and sacked him for a big loss. 11:42 to play. Jed Drenning is their quarterback in his final game. Sends a man in motion to the left side. That's Shane Haddock back to pass. Drenning, but that just makes up the yardage they lost on the previous play, a sack. He's going out of a shotgun formation, firing over the middle, incomplete for the tight end, Kevin Hebb. Passing situation here for Drenning. He's back, turns over on downs, back to Winfield. Again going for Hebb. And Pendlebury backpedaling, broke it up. First down. Hand off inside to Brent Wells. Up the middle, falls ahead. Here's a handoff. Again, the ball carrier is Wells. He's running right. And he gets out to the 40-yard line. It'll be third down and about 3. Third and short, quarterback keeps. Spins off a tackle and pitches. Loose football. Gibson fumbles. Picks it up and runs and dives for the first down at the 45. Everybody had those Tucker County newspaper clippings in their window. Here's a keeper by Brown running right.
Winfield won this thing in '85, but they didn't make it back to the title game last year. So win or lose, they'll have some good memories, and they've had a very good football club over the past couple of years.
And they're staying with Craig Brown. Takes the snap, hands it off, up the middle. Ball carrier is Brown, knifing his way towards the first down. The manager, Woody Woodrum, might see some time. Here's a handoff to Brown, up the middle, off the left side, and pushed backwards, but I think he got the first down. You know, the Woodrum family has a long athletic tradition. The senior Woodrum went to Winfield and is the equipment manager at Western Michigan University for their athletic team. Jimmy Woodrum, assistant ticket manager at Marshall. And here we have Bill Woodrum. They're running out of a wishbone, ball in the middle of the field. Quarterback hands it off. Gibson fumbled football. It's loose on the field. I think Tucker County has it in the 42, and they do.
B.J. Maxwell.
He wears a white towel off his left hip. And this rifle-armed quarterback is down the left sidelines, and it is incomplete, intended for Carmen Del Signer at the 20. I have 6:47 to think of something. Here's a shotgun formation. Flag is thrown. Quarterback flushed out of the pocket. Drenning is going to keep it and run, and fires on the run downfield. Caught by Del Signer. He's at the 35, at the 30, at the 25. Breaks a tackle at the 15. He's at the 10, the 5. Touchdown. If it stands, it will go as the ball was snapped way upfield because of an offsides penalty on the offense. Oh, that one hurts. Out of the shotgun, this time from the 38. He's back and looking again and firing it out of the right flat. Incomplete for Del Signer, cutting across at the 45. Here's Drenning on 3rd and 15, flushed out of the pocket, nearly sacked, fires as he's hit, up for grabs and intercepted. Here's Stover running it back. He's going down the left sidelines. He could go. He's at the 15 and finally dragged down to the 12. Drenning threw it up there and Stover picked it off. And the backup free safety rambled down the left sidelines all the way to the 12-yard line. And Winfield is knocking on the door again with 6:01 to play.
They're overloading that gunpowder, Bill, I'll tell you.
Here's a handoff, and the ball carrier is Junior Schaefer, a sophomore. And I think he dropped the ball. He did. And the ball was recovered by Tucker County. So Junior Schaefer, a 5'7", 165-pound sophomore, seeing his first action, took the handoff and dropped the ball. So Tucker County will take over, but first Winfield calls timeout. 5:35 to play. This SSAC championship event is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network. First and 10 for Drenning. Play action pass. He's going to run out to the 15. Puts his head down into a man. Keeps going at the 17, and that's where he's dropped down. Carmen Del Signer wide to the left side. He's being double covered. Ambrose wide to the right. Quarterback back to pass and looking and firing it down the right sideline. High and deep and long and intercepted by Stover again. He's about to run it back, and he gets back to the 45-yard line. Brian Stover with his second interception in as many possessions. He is hurting, dreading here. He threw it high downfield, and Stover backpedaled under it and caught it. Stover had those 2 interceptions. He takes over now at quarterback. The senior does, and on first down, he hands it off. Man comes in motion from left to right. That's Mark Perry. Here's a running play by Jeff Bannister, and he's trapped behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. That was John Rapp.
Winfield has the best weight program in the entire state of West Virginia, all because of Leon McCoy, and he's got a real interesting way in how he makes his players strong.
Jeff Bannister takes a pitch from the quarterback, Brian Stover, racing down the right sideline for the first down.
See, McCoy builds his own weights. He gets scrap metal, melts it down, does what he has to do, and that's what he uses for weights. They don't have that fancy stuff that you see, that Nautilus or those big, nice dumbbell free weights. He makes it all himself through scrap metal.
Here's Gibson running ahead down to the 32. Here's a handoff to Gibson straight ahead on 2nd down and 3, and he dives ahead and gets 2. Here's a running play to Bannister on a sweep left. Tries to get outside and does. Has the first down to the 20, and he's pushed out of bounds. First down, Winfield. 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard. Here's the running back busting up big at the 20-yard run for Tony Gibson. His second touchdown as he took the handoff and ran right up the middle, breaking tackles along the way. There was a man down who he hurdled. And with 1:49 to play, Winfield has now scored the most points in this game that has ever been scored in a high school championship game in West Virginia. They lead at 48-6.
Now I don't think there's any question that Leon McCoy is going to tell you this was his best team ever.
Handoff up the middle to Gibson, pushing his way, and they push him back. The kick fails. 1:49 to play in this one. Winfield on its way to the state title. The Generals are leading 48-6. Here's the kickoff. High end over end kick. It comes down to Del Signor at the 20. Runs right to the 25. He's at the 30. Scampering his way with those legs turning. And he's out of bounds at the 32. Drenning takes the snap. Hands it off. Ball carrier running right. Has a hole down the right sideline. And he's out of bounds at the 50. At the 48. That was Haddock's.
Tonight, Winfield with 48 points against Tucker County 6.
Here's a handoff up the middle. There's the call from Dale Hall. The penalty moves the ball down. Clock is set. Here we go. Treading the quarterback under the center. Takes the snap. Play action. Now he hands it up 15, and he falls ahead of the 13. That is John Grafton. He hasn't caught a pass here. Here's the quarterback, back to pass, throws over the middle, caught at the 5, diving into the end zone, touchdown! Tucker County gets on the board with 46 seconds left. And Carmen Del Signor is the man that caught that one. He hobbles back to the line of scrimmage. It is now 48-12. What a way for Jed Drenning to end his career as he brings this Tucker County team down the field, and he fires the touchdown pass to Carmen Del Signor. Ball spotted at the 3. Handoff. It's a reverse. Here's Del Signor running in for the 2-point conversion. He took it from the right, ran back to the left, and Carmen is in for the 2-point conversion, and it is 48-14 with 49 seconds left. This SSAC championship event from Laidley Field is an exclusive presentation of the Metro News Radio Network. Tucker County players will stay over tonight, and they'll bus back tomorrow. Here's an onside kick fielded by an up man who falls on him at the 42. The quarterback will be Brian Stover. And a man in motion, hands it off. Fumble, loose ball. Who's got it? Tucker County does with 25 seconds left. Here we go. 17 seconds left. Ball on the Winfield 48. Quarterback Jed Drenning takes the snap, hands it off to Del Signor. A running play. He's at the 40, spinning his way down to the 35. He wears number 12. He sends Jim Ambrose, the senior, wide to the right side. And the tight end on the left is John Grafton. Drenning takes the snap, backpedaling and looking. He's in trouble. He gets out of the sack and fires downfield, caught at the 20. Time will run out. It was caught by Del Signor. Time expires. Or does it? Well, we heard the gun go off. Well, with 1 second left, they'll stop the clock to move the chains, and that'll be it. They may try to get a playoff here. Winfield players just waiting to run onto the field. They're going to get one more play. From the 20, he takes the snap, fires it straight up into the air. It's up for grabs. It's intercepted, and the game is over. Winfield wins this one, 48-14. That's the final. We'll be back to recap the championship game in a moment as Winfield wins. This is the Metro News Radio Network. Some of the Winfield people telling me at halftime they thought that Tucker County was by far the best team Winfield has played to this point all season. And I think you can say that they won this game up front at the line of scrimmage with their big offensive line made of all seniors, just pushing Tucker County off the ball and holding onto it and not turning it over.
Yeah, they've had their share of big plays, but you're right, Bill. They were able right from the start of the game to push Tucker County off the ball, get the 3, the 4, the 5-yard gain on the first down. That just sets you up beautifully for your remaining plays. Final score 48-14. You hear in the background the roar from the crowd. The Winfield Generals have just been presented the 1987 Class AA Championship Trophy, and they set a record in the process, 48 points, the most points ever scored in a West Virginia high school championship game. Bill and I will have a final word when we return to Laidley Field in Charleston. This is the Metro News Radio Network.
You know, you and I were talking earlier, and you asked me a question. This might be the best football team I've ever coached. They play with such intensity, such skill, and I think they proved it all year long. They dominated everybody they played.
Tonight at Laidley Field, the Winfield Generals capped off an undefeated season with an easy 48-14 win over Tucker County in the West Virginia Class AA State Championship game.
Running back, the pass swings it out in the left flat, where it's caught by Ambrose, who is hit heavily and knocked down at the 40-yard line by Bannister. strong up front. Here's an option play. John Brown takes the pitch, running left to the 10, the 5, touchdown.
You know, I've been asked by the press all this year, many people, about this football team. You know, I've had some great squads down through the years here, but I'll have to take the recommendations and the comments from former athletes who have said this. Coach, this is the greatest football team that's ever played at Winfield High School. These guys have dominated everybody that we've played this year all the way through the playoffs. So this is the best football team that I've seen here at Winfield High School in the 23 years I've been here. And also in my 32 years of coaching, this is the greatest football team that I've ever been associated with.